Hi, my name's Amanda, and I'm so glad that you're here. Let's see, just going live on all the things. So, hey, I had literally 10 minutes before I jump on to my next appointment. And something that has been coming up a lot has been, how do I get my coaching expert course thing out there faster? And, I've actually did a tally. I've done 74 courses, 74 course launches. I've done several other, live coaching program things, or where I've maybe combined some of those courses together. And so today I wanted to talk about, like, how do I get things out there and start, making like a real business out of this thing. And my challenge is I'm going to give you all these steps, and I have literally 10 minutes to get through absolutely everything. So if you can see me, hear me, let me know. If you have questions as you go along, just ask. I'm live on the Instagram, I'm on the YouTube channel, and I'm in the Coaches Plaza Facebook group, which is coaching business made easy. So, all right, let's say that you have an amazing coaching skill. The first test, the first step that I do in my process is I verify. So what's verification? Verification is like basically market research, going out and verifying what is it that people are buying, right? So I know we all know what we want to sell. We want to sell our coaching. We want to sell our process. We want to sell our amazing recipes. Whatever the thing is that you have, you probably want to sell the thing. But here's the real trick to making a lot of sales more quickly. Sell something people want to buy. And so before I even start, and I didn't know this at the very beginning of my journey, but I sure know it now. There are millions and millions and like hundreds and hundreds of millions of people every day buying books on your subject area. They are downloading podcasts in your subject area. They are attending programs, going to seminars. They're hiring other coaches in whatever it is that you do. Now, you might be thinking, but Amanda, I'm so unique. That's why I want to be an entrepreneur. And I get it, boo. Like I I am pretty rebellious myself. There's a reason why I wanted to pivot into entrepreneurship. But just because we are artistic or creative or we show up differently in the world does not mean that the world has never seen something like us before. And the reason why I like to do this verification step is not because I want to copy anybody. Like, I'm the opposite of that. I love to jump to the creative probably sooner than I should. But it's helpful to know, to have a level of confidence. Look, people are buying this idea every day from somewhere or someone else. Now, the second thing that I do is I build my first test. So even when I've done 6-figure launches, they were tests. They were tests. So what's a test? Basically, it's, I put together this hypothesis of, okay, I see all these people buying. Here's why I think they buy. And here's why I think they're going to buy from me. And then I put together like a game plan, a campaign plan, if you will, of making sure that people know. Now, when I very first do a test, if it's something that's super, super new, I might invite maybe 5 to 10 people into the new thing at first. So when I do that, I am basically just verifying that people will invest time, energy, and money towards the thing that I actually want to do next. So I think that that's a really, really important distinction. What's the difference between testing it and having a sustainable business? Well, a sustainable business means that you are constantly meeting strangers and you are converting those strangers into customers and clients consistently. So the first phase is really just about the proof of concept, making sure that you've done a good job of articulating what it is that you value and that you have proof that people will buy that from you, package, put it together. I call this the minimum viable offer. It's not even a minimum viable product yet most of the time. Why? Because I can build the product with today's technology. I can build the product real time. So, and if I'm only building it for a few people, like a few people and a few sales is not a business. A business is something that endures over the long term. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take what didn't go the way I planned in the test phase, and I'm going to tweak. And I'm either going to tweak it to grow it and scale it because I feel like it's got enough proof in the pudding, it's got legs, I'm going to actually get this thing rolled out. Or I might have to return back to the test phase. And I might need to kind of scrap what we did and do all over. Now, the reason why I think it's really important to do a test phase is I think it's important to give yourself as much permission as possible when you're doing something truly new. You know, what I didn't appreciate when I very first started was that I would need to learn how to sell. I would need to learn how to market. I would need to learn how to communicate. I would need to learn the tech. I would need to learn how to hire people to help me with the tech. Like, there's learning throughout the entire journey. So you're never, ever going to get away from that. The test phase is really important because if in your mind it's framed as a test, then when it goes well, amazing. When it doesn't go well, amazing. Why? Because you didn't risk a lot. You know, you took some risk, but it was a measurable risk. It was a reasonable risk. And then after you've kind of got these tweaks, then the next thing we do is we launch in a bigger way. So what does that mean? Well, it means that now we're pushing to convert strangers into clients. And we want to have that happening, you know, day in, day out, week in, week out, continuously. And so most of your effort and your energy and your emphasis is going to go to optimizing your processes for that proven program. And boy, oh boy, like I've been able to stick with programs, help, you know, and generate like literal 7 figures because I was able to stick with the tweaking, the testing, and the optimization that was required to actually do it. So those are the main steps, right? So first we verify, we do the research to verify that like what we're building is not the very first thing that's ever existed ever in the history of ever. Even if we're the first one to do it, it's not something that is just like so out there that the average person would never recognize it. So that's number 1. Number 2 is we form our hypothesis in our test. Number 3 is we tweak based on what we learn from the test. I think one of the biggest things I see in our space is people being hypothetical for way too long. Like they stay in hypothetical land. Like hypothetically, I'll be able to sell this because I have really great, you know, sales skills, or I'll be able to sell this because I've studied all this marketing, or I know all this psychology, or I worked in marketing when I was in corporate America. Just because it worked before doesn't mean it's going to work in this particular combination now. So I think that permission to test, permission to tweak, and then to optimize over time. And I think like really good business is actually super boring, you know, in the sense that you're kind of optimizing and responding to the metrics of what's happening in your business. I think maybe some of the most exciting times can be launch, but if you never get past the launch, then it's going to be really hard to get your business really going in a bigger way. So those were my 4 steps, to selling something new. Let me know what questions you have. Feel free to slide into the DMs if you have any clarifying questions. I just thought I'd share this. I went on a walk. That's why I'm all red and sweaty. And I was just thinking about this challenge that a lot of people in our community have been having. And I think it's just kind of this failure to launch, you know, and this failure to like, it's almost like the idea of launching is so big in their head that they're not giving themselves the permission to run a proper test. And so then they're not realizing from the test that actually this is really viable. But I think like the biggest thing in business is if you can be decisive and take that action. And then once you've got something that works, have the patience to optimize it. All right. Thanks everybody for joining me, and we'll see you again later.